Oh, I think it was my mom's choice. When I was 3 years old, she puts me into ballet class. I mean, it was just improvisation, little kids dancing, and I'm going back in documentary there, and I see how it was. So it was very touching. And when I was four, I couldn't really travel. It was like really too far to go, and my mom thought like she'll put me into gymnastics. So she transferred me to the gymnastic schools, and that was really, really hard and very. I put a lot of hours into it, and it was professional sports schools, so it was like 6 hours a day, 6 times a week, and it was. After that, I think anything was quite easy. It was very, very good beginner school. I would suggest every kid to go to gymnastics at the beginning for anything. I did at the age of 13. I moved to London, and it was very exciting. It was like first time I was kind of free and by myself, and there was friends around, and I was living with 6 boys in the same room, and it was like crazy interesting experience, and it was very beautiful. It was in a park. It was in a Richmond Park, and it was royal. It was like Queen's house. It was very, very beautiful, deers and around pirates, and it was just magical, and I felt like I was Harry Potter. No, but I think it was hard on my mom. But for me it was exciting. I was a little kid. I didn't. I just remember excitement, and everything was new. But for my mother, she spent 13 years. She didn't do anything else apart from raising me. So it was. Now I started to see how hard it was on her. I thought, oh, you think I'm bad? I'm gonna prove you I'm the baddest. I'm the worst. So and I didn't realize I'm digging myself into something everybody would be scared of me. So that's why I had many years of troubles. Nobody would really hire me or listen to me. And it's just one guy, Igor in Russia, who was really brave. And I was like, wow, this guy, I really respected him. I was just lucky because for many months I was traveling and nobody would kind of, I wouldn't really have a real conversation. I knew what I could do, and I knew what I wanted, and I knew that when I work, I never let anybody down. So if I respect them, if I think it's real thing, and I would never let down somebody I love. So, but nobody would listen to me. No, it was no real conversation going on, and that's when Igor appeared, and he said, "Listen, if you're gonna work with me, I'm gonna do this and that." And I saw some interest in me rather than even as a human being, rather than just a ballet dancer. So I thought, oh, this guy, he could be like my father figure, and he's actually a father figure to many, many dancers, and that's very important because you don't really have anybody else. When you're in a company, that's the only person you have to look up to. I always drew on myself. When I was a kid, I always knew I'm going to have a tattoo. And tattoos represented freedom to me. And tattoo represented manliness to me. I don't know, like I was very fascinated about prisoners and all that kind of thing. And I really loved people who had tattoos on their face and on their arms because I thought they're free people. They're not obligated to their job to do that. They can just have it. And so I started doing it to kind of at least feel free a little bit. And when you're a foreigner in a country and you're attached to your job, and if you mess up there, you're gonna be kicked out of your country. That plays a big part in your mind that you cannot make a mistake. In school as well, I knew I cannot have a fight. I cannot mess up. I cannot mess this up because I'll be thrown out, and I would have to come back. And because in Ukraine I was more free, like you could. I was having a fight with boys every day, and my mom would be called in school every week. But when I went to England, I realized this is my chance, and I have to be very, very focused, and I worked very, very hard, put extra money on my skill, so I can succeed. But at some point, of course, the compression played a certain part. Like when I was 21, I want to do all these things I missed out on. And so, yeah, and the tattoos weren't really popular at that time. David Beckham ruined it for everybody. In the dance world, there was not many. I knew one guy, a friend with him from Stuttgart, and his name is Jason Riley, and he had tattoos. But he was kind of the only one I knew. And as soon as I started doing the tattoos, they had a big meeting, the whole company, and they said, "You're not allowed anybody to have a tattoo." So a few weeks later, I did on my hand tattoo to kind of, it's, I think it's important to be free. I don't know, like it's not, but it was a big issue at the beginning. Now I think it's more relaxed, and you can always cover it.